Hey y'all, Kentucky Farmer here, and welcome back to the 5th episode in this FS19 Let's Play series here on Ravenport. In the last episode, we harvested and then plowed and reseeded these fields over here, and you see we got a growth stage. So this one is about half fertilized, so we're going to need to put down some more fertilizer over here. And so is this one. No weeds. So far, everything's going great. Our grass field is in the first ready to harvest stage, also no weeds. So next growth stage we'll be able to start doing hay bales and silage bales over here. So in this episode I want to work on kind of expanding the farm, and I've got some financing tricks that I'm gonna work with here to get this to happen. So as you can see, I don't have a lot of money on me right now. I've been doing missions, and every time I get above $5,000 from a mission, I just use it to pay off my bank loan. And as long as I've got that debt, I'm gonna keep using it as like a operating line of credit. I'm going with a different approach, because in a lot of my earlier series, the very first thing I did was like pay off the loan and then never use the loan ever again. In older versions of Farming Simulator, it was normally capped, and it was capped at something pretty low, like $250,000 or $100,000 or something, you know, something that's pretty pointless when we're buying, you know, $500,000 lots or $500,000 harvesters, right? In this game, in 19, it's different. I'm actually gonna hop in over here to the store. When you start off, you have 250,000. Well, on the difficulty that I started off on, which is Farm Manager, I had $1 million, and I also had $250,000 worth of a loan. As you buy things, as you buy land, so let's come in here. As we bought this land, so we've got this lot that's worth $210,000, and this lot that's worth $362,000. Your ability, your capacity to borrow money increases. You can borrow up to, I think it's like 80 or 85% of the value of your land and your placeables. So right now I don't really have a lot of placeables, right? So that's not a contributing factor. I have that that one lime facility. So the placeables aren't really helping me out right now, but the value of my land is. So I can actually borrow, I think over $500,000 right now. So I'm gonna go into the bank and I'm gonna take out as much of this loan as I can. So now you can see I've got 381,988, and let me go back in here, and I've borrowed up to my $500,000. Now the cool thing is I can spend this money, and as long as I spend it on more land and more buildings, the bank will give me a bigger loan, and then I can take out more money and I can use it on more land and more buildings. So let's hop into here and go into lands, and I've also, so in the first couple of episodes, like in between episodes, I logged out all the trees here and all the trees here and used that to raise money. And then in between the last episode and this one, I went around and did like all the harvest missions. So let's drop out of here. Let's go over to growth. You can see harvested, you know, I went around and harvested quite a few fields. The ones that are ready to harvest, I think that's a cotton field. Yeah, so we have a cotton field and a sugar beet field, and I don't have the harvester for it, so it would take a lot of time, and I wouldn't make a lot of money because I got to rent the harvester, so I just haven't been worrying about those. So, you know, that was kind of how I was making money in between episodes to like keep the pace up and moving along. So my thought was, if I buy this lot here and this lot here, then I've got more trees that I can clear, and it kind of opens up a little more land. You know, I might be able to sneak some placeables in around here later, we'll see. And also kind of want to organically expand. I don't want to just, you know, buy these and then like buy this field and like buy this field. Like I want to kind of spread out. My ultimate goal would be to own every piece of land that can be bought. And just based on the revenue that I got from logging out this lot and this lot, I kind of think if I buy these two lots and finance them, then I'll make enough money cutting the trees down and selling the lumber to pay back what I spent on the lots. And then once that's all paid back, I own the land, and you know, maybe I'll get a tree planter and kind of come through and like replant some trees here, and then just use it as a spot where I can kind of continually regenerate some money. Like this lot here, I turned it into basically a big field. This I'm gonna use for placeables later. This I turned into a field. You know, this is like so steep you can hardly drive up it. So, but there are some sections over here that you could go through and plant trees, and so, you know, maybe I'll get a little bit of like a renewable lumber or timber source over here. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this one, and I'm gonna buy this one, and now if we look, I'm down to $32,000. The other thing that's kind of interesting about this technique, if I come back in here, I still can't borrow more money. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. You know, I've bought more stuff. I should be able to borrow against it now. I actually have to save the game and quit, and then I have to come back in and reload the game. And now if we go back in to the bank, you see we can borrow more money again. So now I'll go back to borrowing as much as I can. All right, so now we've got $272,000. Let's go back, which is going to be enough money for us to put down some placeables. So let's see here. I'm going to actually sell this roller. I need a roller. I don't like this roller, and they modded over the one from 17. I don't have that loaded yet, but I will get it before I need it again. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this one. Get my money back on it. Well, get some of my money back on it. Alright, so now we've got this area cleared out, and I can put in my grain silo. So this is this mod's available on ModHub, ModHub US, not the official one, and I have actually kind of customized it myself. I added a whole bunch of fill types to it just because I kind of like having just one big facility that I can store whatever I want in. So let's see here, that's looking pretty good. You can start to see how I was talking about how you can kind of hide a lot of the trash in it, and it kind of looks like it belongs there, right? Like it just fits nicely in this area. I can almost hide that entire car. It is hiding the entire car. Nice. And the spout sticks out on this side to fill up, and the unload point's on this side. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's take a look at it. So it's just kind of fenced off and protected now. Got our unload point, propane tank for the dryer, the little grain shed for the electronics usually, or circuit panels are normally stored in there. And we got the bins, and the car is gone now. Car's inside this grain bin. And, you know, this little bit of trash that's left actually kind of fits in now. Like it, you know, it just kind of seems normal to have a little bit of trash piled up next to one of these grain bins. So that actually isn't too bad. So now that we got that in, the next thing I'm gonna do is we gotta cut down this tree real quick. There we go, cut it off below the ground level. And we'll pick it up. take the limbs off of it. And we can throw this in our wood chipper at some point. I'm gonna just kind of toss this over here for now. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is grab our tractor. And I actually need to bring up my HUD again. There we go. Let's see, that is fine where it is. And I gotta pull some of this stuff out of the way because I'm gonna put a barn over here. There we go. We've got that area cleared out, and now we can buy our first barn. I've experimented with these things. I'm actually kind of a fan of these. They're pretty well done. I like that the doors independently open and close. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get one of these. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that spot. Alright, just enough room I can kind of walk behind it. Got a little bit of room over here. Perfect. So these you just walk up to them, and you can open the doors. There we go. Got lots of room to park equipment now. So now the next thing I wanted to get is another placeable. It's under sheds. This is a mod that I found. It's a Quonset hut sort of machine shop. So it's actually a shop where you can customize and repair your equipment. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy that. Alright, pretty happy with that. So again, like the other barn, just kind of walk up to it, hit B, and the doors should open. There we go. And now we have a place where we can repair and customize our tractor. So let's see, the next thing I wanted to buy is another placeable. Okay, get a power washer. Oh no! I clicked one too many times and actually bought one. Let's go into our garage and sell that. Whoops. Well, there went $2,000. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, power washer. Alright, and now the next thing I was gonna get is a diesel tank. There we go, diesel tank. So now we can fill up our tractors here. And we are starting to run out of cash. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna save the game. And I'm gonna quit back out of it. And then I'll load back into the game. Now if we go back into the bank, you see I can borrow more money again. Now I'm borrowing against all the placeables that I put down. See, I can't borrow as much as when I was buying the land, but still another 121,000. So let's see, the next thing I was gonna do is come over here. And I'm gonna put down the rest of the placeable silos for seed and fertilizer and everything else. So we've got a seed station. And then we're gonna do the fertilizer station. And then we want to do the herbicide station. Alright, and then finally we're going to do the liquid fertilizer station. Because I'm trying to kind of like follow this taper that the fence starts over there. And now I kind of have like this central island. You drive on either side of it and... Perfect. And my flag in the middle. Alright, now that we got those down, the next thing I'm going to put down, well, so I need to get my tractor and I need to move all this stuff. So let's grab that. Well, I've got most of the equipment cleaned and put up here in the barn, out of the way. If you notice, I still got a couple pieces out, and these ones are going to be a bit of a challenge. So anything that have these pivoting wagon front wheels like this and the trailer, those are really hard to back up. So I don't really want to back them in here. I prefer to have some sort of shed that I can pull through. Leave them in the shed and just unhook, and then when I want them, I back up to them and grab them. So I'm actually going to put one more building over here. So we'll go into sheds. We're going to do this easy shed 3. And I think right about here, let me take a look at it from this angle. Yep. Yeah, I like that. Alright, so now I got a pull-through shed that covers the grain dump point. Keeps it out of the weather. So I'm going to park the trailer and the headers in there, and then the tractor and the combine will actually get parked in this barn over here. Well, there you have it. We've got the headers and this trailer parked here in this pull-through shed. And I've got one more, well, I got a couple more placeables, but the next placeable I'm going to put down here is the last one in this kit of stuff is this water station. And I found out it's kind of cool. It fits pretty nicely right about there. And of course I got to come back and re-gravel underneath it. Like that. And we want to sell the markers off our gravel. And I did that because I'm still not using the 1.2 patch, so I don't have the train manipulation and paintbrush tool yet. But now when we start doing livestock, we got a source of water. Since this water pipe and concrete thing isn't actually a water fill point, I figure we'll make it look like it is a water fill point. And now we can fill off of it. And the only other thing I wanted to put down is some work lights. Just go into miscellaneous, and I've got these modded floodlights. In German it's Flutlicht, so these are super Flutlichts. So I modded them to increase their coverage area. So I'm gonna put one there. One, get rotated around there, and one there. And I want to put one. Let's try it from the other side. There we go. Put one there. And one there. So now at nighttime we'll have lots of light out here to work by. I think I'm gonna put one more at this power pole since we've got an obstruction there anyways. Might as well have some real light coming off of it. Okay, of course they're off now because it's daytime, but next time I'm out here at night I'll have some work light. Then again, I normally make it a point to not record videos in the dark, so I normally do off-camera work at night, but I still like having lights out while I'm working at night. So I think that's everything for now. I mean, I've got plenty of storage, got grain storage now, I've got all my purchasable places, so I don't have to go back to the store to get any supplies. The next thing I want to cover is this tractor. So I need to fertilize, and I need to put care tires on to fertilize, and this tractor doesn't default come with care tires, which is stupid because I should be able to put those tires on here since I can put them on the other one. If we look in the shop under medium tractors, so we've got the 6M, which the 6M can take narrow tires. I have the 6R, which does not have a narrow tire option. I don't like that. So I made a 6R custom. So this mod has narrow tires. And I pretty much just swapped out in the save game file, I swapped out the 6R that I had for the 6R mod. And so now I can actually drive this over here to my new shop, and I can swap out the tires on it. Customize. And narrow. Look at that. Looks terrible, but at least I can go fertilize my field without destroying my crops. And of course for this job we're going to use our dry fertilizer spreader. And might as well swing past our new refill point and top it off. And if you're having a hard time using these with the refill points, it's because you got to open the cover first and then you can refill. Alright. Got fertilizer, got a tractor. Ready to do this. I'm gonna just freehand this whole process, and I'm gonna overlap by quite a bit. Waste some fertilizer, that's fine. It's that GPS mod, it's too hard to tell what isn't and isn't fertilized, especially because these fields are weird. If you remember from the last episode, they're like, some parts are fully fertilized, some parts are partially fertilized, some parts are, you know, just weird shapes and everything else. So anyways, this is the second level, so once this is done, everything should be a nice, consistent dark blue. Alright, let's take a look at it on the map here. Nice. Everything's good. And I'll turn back on grass. As you can see, it's in its first ready to harvest stage, so got a little bit of time now. Gotta wait for these fields to grow, get that one to flip over. We'll put this stuff away. And we'll put some real tires back on this poor tractor. Alright, so we can customize this and swap these back to widen weights. So this is a little weird. So it had this configuration, widen weights. It didn't charge me to put the narrows on, which I had never bought that configuration before, but now it's going to charge me to put the widen weights back on. Actually, oh, so this actually, I take it back. I must have had just wheel weights, not wide and weights. So that's fine. Okay, because that's the beauty of having a shop, right? Is you don't have to pay to cycle to something that you've already had. But I'll do widen weights. All right, looks good. We've still got a little bit of money left in the bank. Well, we don't have money in the bank. We owe the bank a lot of money. I'm gonna leave this here, and I'm gonna grab the harvester real quick. As you can see, the harvester needs a little bit of maintenance and needs some fuel. We worked it hard doing all the harvest missions around the map, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this. So we can repair $1,000. That's not bad. Yeah, I'm gonna head over here and fuel it up with diesel. Well, it's starting to feel a little bit more like an actual farm and less like a parking lot full of equipment. There we go. Doors are shut. Probably just leave that shop open. And I can go back, let's see here. Let's head back into the bank. So I can still borrow some, that's interesting. Okay, so now I'm up to $875,000 worth of a loan. I'm actually gonna go ahead and repay this back down because it doesn't do me any good to have money in my account at midnight when I get charged interest on money that I could have just paid off with money in my account. So that's what I was saying at the beginning of the video. I'm just going to kind of treat this as an operating line of credit. As I make money, I'll pay it down. And then if I need something, if I want a new field, or if I want some equipment, if I have room to finance it in that line of credit, then I'll do that. Otherwise, that'll kind of be how we limit ourselves for now. But, I mean, I in real life, I'm a very debt-averse person. Like, I don't like debt, but in this game, it's kind of interesting how they've changed that mechanic now with the whole 80 to 85% of the net worth of your land and placeables. As you saw when I started the episode, I had no cash on hand and I still owed the bank money, and yet I was able to buy 2 lots and put down all these placeables, and yeah. So I was able to make quite a bit of progress thanks to bank financing. So we'll see how this works out. I believe it's 200% interest rate, but you know, because of the way time works in this game, it's not too bad. But we are definitely going to get a hit every night as long as we've got that. In between this episode and the next one, I'm going to work on doing some logging. I got a lot of trees around here to cut down. Let's actually run around. I can kind of show you the perimeter, because it's a little weird when you're on the edge of the map like this. Just because you see a tree doesn't mean you can actually go cut it down. A lot of these are kind of right at the map edge. So we've got these right along this waterfall area that I can chop down. Up over to about here. But I don't think I can... Well, I can get to that one. I can get to this one. But here's the edge of the... So, like, I can't progress past this. I hit, like, a wall. So that's kind of the edge there. And so I can get all these trees. And I can't get up here, so I can't get those. Those trees will get to stay. Won't be able to get that one. But if we look out this way, I mean, there's a good amount of trees, and they're mostly pine trees, which are easy for me to process and pay good money because they're long and straight pieces of wood. So yeah, this should be pretty good. These guys are actually worth a good amount too, as long as you cut the branches off. And I'm not too sure what I'm going to wind up doing with this land. This is a little bit hillier than I like for doing a tree farm with like the Scorpion King. I don't think this will ever get to be that sort of farm, but I can do a little bit of that work around here. This building's a little weird, but I now own it, so maybe this is my new house. Can't interact with that. Not terribly sure what this is. I think it's a pump. Pretty sure that's a pump. Yeah. Got a new car? Surprisingly free of bullet holes. I think normally have more of those. And a well that I can't really see down in. Once we get the terrain manipulation tool, this is going to be nice because this, like, bump here, I can kind of smooth out so that the equipment doesn't act so squirrely right here. I'll probably still leave the trail. And then got trees and trees and more trees over here. And then, like, this part here, like, so there's this road, and then there's the steep hill, and then there's this road. Like, if I could level out some of this, it might get more useful. However, up here at the top of this hill, of course, there's a cell tower. So, I don't think I can't climb it. That's a shame. I can climb up here. But, yeah. So I can't totally level off this hill and make a field, but yeah, honestly, other than cutting down the trees and for the sake of owning these lots, I'm not terribly sure why I bought them. But and then it ends right around here, because then that's the start of this lot where field 23 is. I mean, the other nice thing about these is this is the biomass heating plant, so just to kind of show this part of it, since I do a lot of this when I'm not recording. This is where I sell most of the trees that I've been cutting down. This sell point right here takes wood, so I put stuff on a trailer and drag it over here, drop it off here, and then you go over to this and you hit sell, and it will sell whatever's inside the box. This sell point over here is what they're calling the barn. So in previous versions of Farming Simulator, at your farm you would have a barn and you could sell grass, hay, silage, stuff like that. This is the equivalent. You can sell that stuff right here. So it's kind of nice to have this by our farm. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but just kind of based on some observations I made, this place pays as much for the logs as the sawmill does. So I've just been selling everything here. You cannot sell wood chips here, which is a little odd. You would think that the biomass heating plant would buy wood chips, but I haven't been able to get it to buy wood chips. If anyone else has been able to get it to buy wood chips, let me know what I'm doing wrong. Because, yeah, I would love to be able to sell wood chips here. I normally don't chip anything except for some of the smaller branches, and that's just because if I get tired of trying to like load them into a trailer and take them over here to sell them for not much money, I'd rather just throw them in my wood chipper and be done with them. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna work on doing some logging, and hopefully by the next episode I'll have some credit freed up so that I can buy the hay equipment to start doing hay over there on my grass field. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the episode. If you've got questions about the game or are interested in discussing strategy or finding out about mods, some of the mods that I've been making and putting out, I post them all on my Discord. I post them all on my Discord page, so just stop by over there, and the link will be in the video description. And till the next video, I'm Kentucky Farmer. Thanks for watching.